Hello, good morning students. Today in this video we are going to study about the motion of charged particle in uniform electric field and magnetic field. We will also be finding out the direction of force that is acting. So to start with, we will be learning about the motion of charged particle in uniform electric field. So let's start. We are going to start with our first topic, that is charged particle in uniform electric field. See, when a charged particle is moving in an electric field, we will be studying the path that it will be following, and we will be proving mathematically the equation of path followed by that particle. Now coming to this diagram, as you can see here, we have a field set up between two oppositely charged plates. Here the plate below is positively charged and the plate above is negatively charged, and the particle that is going to move in this electric field is lying over here at point O. Initially the charged particle is moving with velocity v in the horizontal direction. See, had there been no electric field, this charge would have traveled and reached point P in a straight line, but due to presence of this electric field there will be a difference. Now what will be that difference? Now due to presence of this electric field, this charged particle, it will be attracted towards the oppositely charged plate. Now let us suppose that the charge which is moving in this electric field carries positive charge. Now if that positively charged particle is moving in the electric field, then that charged particle will be attracted towards the negative plate. And here you have the negative plate. This charge will be attracted towards this negative plate. Right? So this charge, which has some initial velocity in the horizontal direction, will be pulled towards the negative plate, and the resultant path of this charged particle is shown over here. Here you can see it is deflecting from its original path, and it will keep on deflecting till this point, right? And as soon as this particle reaches out of electric field, it will start moving in a straight line due to inertia. So from this point onwards, this charged particle will move in the straight line. So from this point, I have mentioned this point as O dash. From O dash to Q, charged particle will move in the straight line path, and it will reach at point Q on the screen. Right? So it will be following a curved path only when it is inside the electric field. That is, from this point, we can say this point is O, till this point, which is O dash. And after O dash, this particle will follow a straight line. To make the concept more clearer, as you can see in the animation behind me, when a charged particle is moving in the absence of electric field, it is moving undeflected. But when there is some electric field, the charged particle gets deflected. It is actually following the curved path. Now this curved path is due to the deflection produced in the charged particle when it is moving in the electric field. The direction of deflection, of course, it depends upon the polarity of charge. If it is the negative charge, then it will be deflected towards the positive plate, and if it is the positive charge, then it will be deflected towards the negative plate. Now moving on to some calculation part. See, as we know, the force exerted by the electric field on a charged particle is given by F is equal to Q into E. This is the formula for force experienced by a charged particle when it is lying in electric field. Fine. So from this formula, we know what is force. Force is mass into acceleration. So we can write mass into acceleration is equal to Q into E. From here we can calculate the value of acceleration, and that will come out to be charge into electric field divided by mass. So this will be the formula for acceleration. This will be the acceleration that this charge particle will experience. Fine. Now what will be the direction of this acceleration? This acceleration will be in the vertical direction. Fine. The force which is acting over here is attracting that charge particle in the vertical direction. That is why this acceleration will also be present, will also be experienced in the vertical direction. So this acceleration will be experienced in the vertical direction. This is important point that you must keep in your mind, that the direction of this acceleration is in vertical direction, in the upward direction. This acceleration is not acting in the horizontal direction. Fine. So this is the formula for acceleration. Now, if you want to apply equation of motion over horizontal and vertical path, what we are going to get is, suppose we are applying on horizontal motion first. On horizontal motion. See, for horizontal motion, we know the motion, horizontal motion is motion in this direction. See, let us use second equation of motion, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square in horizontal motion or in horizontal path. Now in horizontal path, what is the distance traveled in the electric field? This is the distance traveled. We have taken it as x. So I would be writing x over here. What is the initial velocity in horizontal direction? Initial velocity in horizontal direction is v. We have taken its initial velocity as v. So I would be putting v over here. Let the time taken by that charge particle to reach this point, from this point, that is to transverse this electric field, let that time be t plus half into acceleration. Now in horizontal direction there is no acceleration. This acceleration is there in the vertical direction. Fine. So there is no acceleration in horizontal direction. So I would take 0 over here into t square. That will make this entire term equal to 0. So what we will be left with? X is equal to Vt. So we will be left with x is equal to Vt. That I am going to write it over here. So from here you can get the value of time, and that will be equal to x by v. Fine. So this is the application of second equation on horizontal motion. Similarly, if we apply on vertical motion, what we are going to get? Same formula, S is equal to ut plus half at square. So in vertical direction, what is the displacement? In vertical direction, this is the displacement. Fine. Originally it was over here, and at the final time interval it is traveling, it is displaced by distance y. So I would be putting y in place of displacement. Now what is initial velocity? See, its initial velocity is in horizontal direction. There is no initial velocity in vertical direction. So I would be taking 0 over here, 0 into t plus half as it is. Value of acceleration, this acceleration is in vertical direction. So I would be using it over here, QE by m. And what is t? Time, we have already calculated, time is equal to x over v. Time will be same, the time taken by charge particle to get out of electric field. Fine. So in place of t, I can substitute x by v. Here we have t square, so I will be squaring it. So from this equation, what we are going to get is y is equal to, this term is 0, is equal to half QE by m x square by v square. So I would be writing it over here. Y is equal to 1 by 2 QE by m x square by v square. So this is what we are going to get from the vertical motion. See, one thing is very clear from this equation. Here you have 1 by 2, it is a constant, Q is charge, that is constant, E is electric field, of course electric field is constant, mass of particle is constant, V square, V is the initial velocity of that particle, that is also constant. Now what we are left with, Y is equal to, these entire terms are constant. What we are left with, Y is equal to constant into x square. Fine. So what we will be getting from here is constant, I will be using K constant in place of all these values, into x square. So what is our final equation? Our final equation is Y is equal to kx square. Y is equal to kx square. And I hope this must be in your mind that Y is equal to kx square, Y is equal to constant into x square is the equation of parabola. This means that the charged particle which is moving in the electric field follows a parabolic path, and that parabolic path is followed from point O till point O dash. Remember this, after O dash till point Q, this path is a straight line path. So parabolic path is followed from point O to O dash. That is evident from this equation. Y is equal to kx square, that is the equation of parabola. So next we are going to discuss about the motion of charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. See, before starting this topic, let us write the formula for force experienced by a charged particle when it is moving in magnetic field. And the formula for the force is F is equal to QVB sin theta. You must be familiar with this formula. Here Q is the charge, V is the velocity, capital B is magnetic field, theta is of course angle. Fine. So from this formula it is evident that if a charged particle it is moving in the magnetic field either parallel or anti-parallel, that means if theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, then the force experienced by that charged particle would be 0. That means it will not be experiencing any force. Fine. Because sine 0, 0, sine 180 again 0. So there will be no force in that case. So first part is very clear that if a charged particle is entering a magnetic field parallel or anti-parallel to that magnetic field, it will experience no force. Now moving on to second part. See, in second part, if you have a charged particle entering a magnetic field at angle of 90 degree. Now to explain this, I will draw a magnetic field. These crosses depicts the magnetic field directed into the board in this direction. So let us suppose you have a charged particle. Let that charged particle be Q over here, and it is entering the magnetic field perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. See, the direction of magnetic field is this, and the charged particle is entering in this direction perpendicular. Fine. So when this charged particle will reach a particular point, let it be A point, or we can write it over here. Let this point be A. When this charged particle reaches the point A, what will happen? It will experience a force. This sine 90, the force will be maximum, and that will be equal to QVB. Now the question is, what is the direction of this force? To calculate the direction of this force, we can use Fleming's left hand rule, and from Fleming's left hand rule, we can see that magnetic field, it is directed into the board. So my first finger depicts magnetic field, this finger depicts the movement of current, or we can take it as movement of positive charge, and this is the direction of force. So magnetic field is directed into the board, and this charge is moving in this direction. So I would take my finger, middle finger, in this direction. Fine. So from here it is clear that the force that it will be experiencing will be in the downward direction. So this force will experience a force in the downward direction. Fine. Now if this charge is experiencing a force in the downward direction, but earlier it was moving in this direction, that means it will bend, and it will bend like this. Now let us suppose that this charge particle, due to this force, is bending and it reaches a point B over here. Now at point B, what is the direction of velocity? It is moving in this direction, so this is the direction of velocity of this charge. Now we will again find the direction of force. Applying Fleming's left hand rule again, magnetic field is inward, the charge is moving in the downward direction, so the force that it is experiencing is in this direction. So I would be drawing it like this. Now due to the force acting in this direction, this charge particle will move further, but it will be bent towards this direction. So it will be moving like this. Now let us suppose that it has reached some another point C. At this point C, the direction of velocity is this. So again applying left hand rule to calculate the direction of force, what we will be getting, the velocity is in this direction, magnetic field is inward, the force that it will be experiencing is in the upward direction, F force. Now due to this force, this charge particle will bend in the upward direction and it will reach point, let this point be D. Now at point D, the direction of velocity is in upward direction. Again applying left hand rule, velocity is in upward direction, magnetic field is inward, so the force will act in this direction. So I will write it as F over here. Now due to this inward force, this charge particle will again reach point D. So in this way, due to application of force at each and every point towards the center, see the force is acting towards the center of this path. So that is why this charge particle is following a circular path. So at every point of its path, it is experiencing a force towards its center, and this particle is following a circular path. So it is clear from this discussion that if a charged particle is entering a magnetic field perpendicular to direction of magnetic field, it will experience a force such that it will follow the circular path. Now the animation behind me shows the movement of charged particle in a uniform magnetic field. As you can see, when a charged particle is entering a uniform magnetic field perpendicular to it, that means when a charged particle is making an angle of 90 degree with the direction of magnetic field, there is a force which starts acting on it, and the direction of that force can be calculated, can be determined by using Fleming's left hand rule. And by using this rule, we come to a conclusion that the force always acts on the charged particle perpendicular to the direction of its velocity. Therefore, a force always acts towards the center, and the charged particle ultimately follows a circular path. That means when a charged particle is entering a uniform magnetic field perpendicular to it, it will follow a circular path. See, you can determine the direction of force by using Fleming's left hand rule, according to which your first finger gives the direction of magnetic field, your middle finger gives the direction of current, and your thumb gives the direction of force. So at every point, this force is acting towards the center. So at every point over here, the force is acting towards the center. Therefore, this charged particle is describing a circular motion. This motion can be clearly seen in this animation. Now, we will be doing a bit of calculations over here. We know that when a body is moving in the circular path, there is some centripetal force. So the centripetal force over here would be equal to mv square by r. Fine. So what is the cause of this? What is the source of this centripetal force? Of course, the magnetic force. Magnetic force is the cause of the centripetal force. And what is the magnitude of that magnetic force? That is equal to QVB sine 90. Fine. So this centripetal force is coming from magnetic force. So we can equate this centripetal force with magnetic force. So mv square by r is equal to QVB sine 90, that is equal to 1. So QVB. So from this formula we can easily calculate the value of velocity. This v and this square will get cancelled. So what we are going to get is velocity is equal to, so you can write it as QBR QBR by m. So this is the formula that you are going to get for the velocity of this charged particle. The formula for radius. So from here, what will be the radius? Radius of this path, the radius would be equal to Vm by QB. So this will be the expression for radius of this circular path. Now using this velocity, we can also calculate the kinetic energy of this charged particle inside the magnetic field. That is simple. So what will be the kinetic energy? I would be writing it over here. So kinetic energy is half mv square. Fine. So half into m. What is v square? V velocity is given br by m. So qbr by m. Here we have a square. So the kinetic energy would be equal to, here you will get m square and this m will get cancelled out. So you can write it as So you can write it as 1 by 2. This m will get cancelled out. So you will have q square, v square, r square by m. So this is the expression for kinetic energy of that charged particle inside the magnetic field. You can also calculate the time period, the time taken by that charged particle to complete one round. So if you want to calculate the time period, the expression for time period will be equal to, time will be equal to the complete path covered divided by velocity. The path covered will be equal to circumference, that is equal to 2 pi r, divided by its velocity. As we know, the value of radius is mv by qb into v. This v and v will get cancelled out. So our time period will be equal to 2 pi m by qb. So this is the expression for time period of that particle, the time taken by that particle to complete one round. So this is the second part, in which we have calculated the radius of path followed by a charged particle when it is entering the magnetic field perpendicular to that magnetic field. Now we are moving to third part, where a charged particle will enter a uniform magnetic field at some angle other than 0 degree, 180 degree or 90 degree. That means it is entering at some other arbitrary angle which is not 0 degree, which is not 180, which is not your 90 degree. We will be studying how that charged particle will behave. Now students, the concept is, when a charged particle is entering a magnetic field at some angle other than 0 degree, 180 degree or 90 degree, means the angle is anything other than 0 degree, 180 or 90 degree, any arbitrary angle. So when the charged particle is entering the magnetic field with some angle theta, what will happen? As you can see in this animation, the velocity vector of this particle can be divided into two parts. One is the vertical velocity, another is the horizontal velocity. Horizontal velocity will be shown by the component v cos theta, and vertical component is v sin theta. Now as we know, vertical component, that is v sin theta, as it is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field is shown in the x-axis. So it will be responsible for particle to describe the circular motion. At the same time, the second component, that is v cos theta, that will be responsible to take the charged particle in the longitudinal direction, in the forward direction. Therefore, the charged particle will describe two types of motion. One is it will move in the circular motion due to v sin theta. Second, it will move in the forward direction due to v cos theta. Therefore, it will follow a helical path. Its motion will be in a helical path. So, this motion can be clearly seen in the animation over here. To study this part, let us have a magnetic field in x-axis. So you have a magnetic field directed in horizontal axis, fine, and your charged particle is entering this magnetic field with some velocity v by making an angle theta, which is not 0 degree, which is not 180, and which is not, of course, 90 degree. So your charged particle Q is entering this magnetic field by making an angle theta with magnetic field. Now what will happen? Now this velocity will have two components. One component will be v cos theta and another vertical component will be v sin theta. So from these two components, v cos theta is parallel to magnetic field, but v sin theta is perpendicular to magnetic field. We have already studied that if velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field, it will experience a force due to which it will follow a circular path. Now due to this component, your charged particle will follow a circular path, fine, and due to second component of velocity v cos theta, see, when a particle is entering a magnetic field parallel to that magnetic field, the particle experiences no force. It just keeps on moving. So, due to this component v cos theta, the particle will keep on moving in the x-axis. And due to this component, the particle will rotate in the circular motion. So, as a result, the particle will undergo two kinds of motion. One is it will be moving in the circular path. Second is it will be covering some longitudinal distance. So this part of velocity will be responsible for longitudinal distance and this part of velocity will be responsible for circular motion. That means our particle will undergo a motion which will be helical in nature. So our particle, it is also describing the circular motion due to this component of velocity, and it is also moving in the longitudinal direction due to v cos theta, this component of velocity, fine. So it is moving in the circular path, or it is experiencing the force due to which component? Due to v sin theta. And v cos theta will of course experience no force due to this component of velocity. It will move in the longitudinal direction. So the longitudinal path is followed due to v cos theta component, fine. So these are the two important points that you must keep in your mind. Next, we will be again doing some calculations as we have done in the earlier case. As we know, this particle is also moving in the circular path. As we have done in the earlier case, if a particle is moving in the circular path, it must have some centripetal force, and that centripetal force is due to the presence of magnetic force, fine. So the centripetal force over here would be equal to, as we know, it is mv square by r. But which component of the velocity is responsible for circular motion? Only v sin theta. So instead of v, we would be writing v sin theta. So it would be mv sin theta square divided by R. So this is the centripetal force, and this is coming, or the source of this centripetal force is magnetic force. Magnetic force is Q V D sin theta. Sin theta is of course 90 degree for this component. Again, in place of this velocity, we should write V sin theta. Fine. So it will be equal to Q V sin theta into B. So mv sin theta square divided by R is equal to Qv sin theta into B. So from this formula, we can easily calculate the value of radius of circular path. So from this, what will be the radius? So the radius would be equal to radius of circular path, that would be equal to m v square sin square theta divided by q v b sin theta. So this sin theta and this square will get cancelled, this velocity and this square will get cancelled. So radius would be equal to mv sin theta by qb. So this is the expression for radius of this circular path. This circular path. Radius of this circular path will be given by mv sin theta by q into b. Similarly, you can calculate the expression for velocity from this formula. So this is how a charged particle will behave when it is entering a magnetic field at some angle other than 0 degree, 180 degree and 90 degree. So that's it for our today's video. We will be studying some more concepts of electric fields and magnetic fields in the coming video. Thank you.